So Arsenal versus Newcastle is tomorrow. And if I'm being honest, I think this game is way more important than a lot of people are making it out to be. I think there's a perception around Arsenal that I want to get people's thoughts on. And I want to speak about Arsenal in a way that I'm not really hearing many people speak about it because it's very, very important. Before we get into it though, just very quickly, if you could do me a favour and hit like on this video. So, like I said, Arsenal-Newcastle tomorrow, and I just want to get people's score predictions. Going into games, I always ask for a score prediction. Last time against Preston, we had 3 people get the correct scores. They was, I'll flash it up now, Monday, Olowo and Tony Austin. 3 people got it correct. I want to see if we can beat that this time. So let me know what the score is going to be for the Arsenal versus Newcastle game tomorrow, and I'm going to give you mine in a minute. So, look. What I'm talking about in terms of why this is way more important than people are making it out to be is because the Arsenal are kind of going through a bit of a rocky patch. Maybe we've played a lot of difficult games this season, and there's only so long that you can say, well, Arsenal's start to the season has been very, very difficult. That's why we're dropping points, because there is a kind of realization that we need to have. Like, Man City and Liverpool are not going to drop that many points this season, if we're being honest. Arsenal have already, look, we've drawn 3 and we've lost 1. If we're going on Man City winning the title last season, they only drew 7 and lost 3. So if Arsenal are not careful, we're soon approaching the level of draws and losses that Man City hit last season, and they retained the title, and they're going to probably perform to a similar level this season. We've seen it the past couple of seasons. Man City don't drop that many points, so I don't want to start this video on a negative, but I just want to put it out there to people that are saying like Arsenal, it's early in the season, we got plenty of time. Like, I understand that frame of mind. Like, it is still early in the season. Arsenal have had some difficult games, but at the same time, we do need to be careful because, like I said, we've already got 3 draws, 1 loss. If that goes to 3 draws, 2 losses, we are putting ourselves in a very difficult situation going forward. I still don't think it would be impossible, but like I said, it's getting to the point where if we lose 1 game, we're going to have to hope Man City lose 2 games after that. And if Arsenal drop 2 lots of points, we're going to have to hope Man City drop 3 or 4 lots of... Like, it's going to be difficult. All I'm saying is it's something to be aware of, and I just want to get your guys' thoughts on it. Do you think Arsenal are in a good position, or do you, like me, maybe think that Arsenal need to be careful in these results? Like, I'm looking at Newcastle and Chelsea, and I'm saying, like, I hope we can win both of those games. Yes, they're tricky fixtures away from home. I think if we can win those 2 games, the Newcastle and Chelsea game, then I do think we can look at it and say we're in a good position. I saw a stat earlier today that said after this many games last season, Arsenal have got the exact same record. If that's true, then I would say Arsenal are in a good position because we have had some tricky fixtures. Like, just look at our games early on in the season. And I do understand, like, we've played so many difficult games early on in the season, and that will eventually pay off. Like, there will come a run of fixtures where it's like, oh, we got 3 or 4 games on the bounce where it's against teams that you would expect to beat. Now, it's never going to be easy. They're never going to be give-ems. Like, it's the Premier League. It's always going to be difficult. But I think if we can get through Newcastle and Chelsea and win those games, that's when I would say, right, we've had difficult fixtures and we're actually in a good position. I think that the main disappointment is, of course, that Bournemouth result. And there will be games that Newcastle and Liverpool and Man City drop points where you'll be thinking, oh, I didn't expect them to drop that. Like, that's just how it works. Drop points are exactly that. They're drop points, and every team does it every season. But like I said, 3 draws, 1 loss. We just have to keep an eye on that. And like, you can't go on forever saying like it's early in the season, it don't matter, we'll claw it back, because there does come a point where it's probably insurmountable. Like, Man City are so relentless. Liverpool are looking like they're good this season. I don't expect them to be there at the end of the season. I could be proven wrong, of course, but my initial thought about Liverpool is like, it's a new manager bounce. They're doing very, very good. I like the manager so far, but there will come a crunch time where, I don't know, they go through a bit of a rocky patch. They have a couple of draws, maybe a loss in there as well, and then you'll see what the manager's about. Like, everything always looks good when you're winning games, but as soon as you start to go through that rocky patch, that's when true colours are shown, and we're just going to have to see how that pans out for Liverpool. But speaking about the game tomorrow, like I said, just let me know. Do you think it's a must win, or do you think Arsenal can draw this game? Let me know in the comment section. And that leads us on to some team selection, or some team queries, because I think there's 3 main positions that I'm looking at. and thinking there's definitely some good conversation to be had around 3 of those positions. I want the first one to be Thomas Partey at right back. What do you do there? We saw him in the last game. He was phenomenal. I think Kiwior as well. A lot of you actually picked Kiwior for your man of the match in the last game. Fair enough. Very, very good. What do you do there? And the last one is Ethan Nwaneri. I'm going to start it on Thomas Partey. Do I pull Thomas Partey out of right back and play him in midfield? I think it's definitely an interesting discussion because, like I said, against Luis Diaz, who's a brilliant winger, I think Partey actually done very, very well. But it just depends. What do you want from Thomas Partey? Like Declan Rice, last game, played in the 6 and he played very, very well. But there's no denying that Thomas Partey's been Arsenal's best midfielder, central midfielder this season. So do you want that back in the middle of the park? Look, if Ben White's fit, I probably go Partey in the 6 again and play Ben White at right back because Ben White's been really good this season. Thomas Partey's been really good this season. So it's just natural for them both to play in those positions. But it's definitely something to think about. Would you guys put Thomas Partey back in midfield? Would you prefer Declan Rice in that 6th position as well? Maybe some of you are thinking that. Let me know in the comment section. The second one, like I said, is Jakub Kiwior. I thought many people were going to say Ethan Nwaneri was the man of the match after that Preston game. But fair enough, so many people said, no, Kiwior, without that game, we wouldn't have even won it. So would it be harsh to drop Kiwior against Newcastle? Or is it just a matter of, unfortunately, Gabriel is one of our best players. In many people's opinion, he's actually Arsenal's best central defender. So is it just Gabriel's back, so Kiwior has to make way to the bench? It's going to be harsh on Kiwior, but look, what would I do? It's very difficult because I do think there needs to be a level of, merit in this team. If you play well, you earn your position. And Kiwior done absolutely nothing wrong in the last game. And like many of us said, he was a very good player. Many people had him man of the match. But do you need to play your best team? Look, it is harsh on Kiwior, but I probably would go back to Gabriel. Some of you are probably going to disagree with me. And if you are one of them people, let me know in the comment section. What do you do with Jakub Kiwior? It is harsh to drop him, but I think you do need your best team. And Gabriel and Saliba are the best centre-back partnership, so that's probably the one that I go with. After that, you got the Ethan Nwaneri discussion. He played so well against Preston. After the game against Preston, I was calling for him to start against Newcastle. But you can't deny that Trossard probably is, at the minute, the higher level player. So it's just another kind of something to think about going into this game. Will Mikel Arteta throw him in place of Trossard? Trossard's been probably occupying that Odegaard position more than anyone else since Odegaard's been out with injury. So it will be interesting to see if Mikel Arteta takes the leap, and it will be a leap because it's basically you're putting Nwaneri in front of Trossard. Now, it doesn't mean that's going to be the way that it works out every game going forward, but does Nwaneri warrant that maybe bit of faith, bit of belief in him to say, look, you played well last game, you're a good young player coming through, we're going to give you this opportunity against Newcastle? Or are you looking at it and saying this is St James's Park, this is going to be a mosh pit? You need players that are used to that grit, that like I said, that bear pit at times that it can be when you're playing away at Newcastle. We know exactly what to expect in this game. We're going to get kicked. It's going to be physical. So do you look at it then and say you don't really want to throw a young player into that environment? Let me know in the comment section. Do you play Ethan Nwaneri, or do you revert back to a Trossard and maybe give Ethan Nwaneri another run out in a couple of games' time? Let me know in the comment section. So my team selection, this is exactly what I would go for. I think, obviously, naturally, David Raya comes back in for this game. Then I would go Ben White at right back if he's available, Saliba, Gabriel, and then probably Timber at left back. That's probably a position where I'm saying, look, Kiwior played so well last game that if Kiwior needs to get in the team and you play him at left back, then I'm not that against it. He played so well at centre back that maybe it is a bit different if you're throwing him into left back. But I'd probably go Timber, but I see why some people may want to put Kiwior there. And then I go Partey, Rice, and I'm going to give the push to Ethan Nwaneri. Like I said, if people want Trossard to play, then I absolutely understand that. But for me, I'm just going to say give the young kid a chance. He could surprise many, many people. So Ethan Nwaneri, Saka on the right, Martinelli on the left, and of course, Kai Havertz up front, able to score another goal in the last game. His goal scoring form's been very, very good these past few months. There was a discussion going into the season that we need a striker, but Kai Havertz seems to be the guy capable of scoring goals. Let me know what team you would go for against Newcastle. Let me know your thoughts on the game. Let me know your thoughts on some of the talking points that we went through. Do Arsenal need to win this game? Who do you play at right back, left back, centre mid? Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. Before you go, if you could just do me a favour very quickly and hit like on this video. Just like it and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.